Well, I brought a couple of things. First, I brought a couple of these. Now, we know what these are, right?
Rocks!
Yeah. And do you know where we find rocks such as these?
Yeah, in the ocean! In the yard.
Maybe in the ocean, maybe in the
In
yard.
the jungle.
Maybe in the jungle you might find rocks such as
In the
these.
sand. In the sand.
Maybe in the sand. Maybe
I know the hard place.
you might find rocks such as these in the
I
rainforest.
found one of those outside.
Ah.
I know the hard place.
So there are a lot of places where you can find rocks such as these. Ah.
In the desert.
So it sounds like,
The beach too.
my friends, it sounds like you see a lot of these rocks. Do you see a lot of these rocks?
I never see those rocks.
Oh. Yes, Bella?
I brought some seashells today.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to put these rocks down for a second.
My sisters have seashell collection.
Do they? Okay. Do you know what is in this bottle?
Vinegar.
How did you know that vinegar was in here?
Because we see the V for vinegar.
Oh, that's right, because vinegar starts with the letter V. That's right.
The V.
Now, do you know what vinegar is used for?
It's for making cupcakes.
Sometimes vinegar is used for cupcakes, like to make cupcakes, you mean?
I know to clean the sandwiches.
Sometimes vinegar is used for sandwiches. Do you sometimes put vinegar on your sandwiches?
And with ice cream.
And, oh, really, vinegar on ice cream? I never tried that before. Yes, Gabrielle?
For experiments.
Oh, and for experiments you sometimes use vinegar?
I like making volcanoes with them.
Have you ever made volcanoes with vinegar before?
Yeah. I got to build sand. Poke a hole, and then we put vinegar in, and then we put some paint powder in, and we put some red paint in there, and then we pretend that it's a volcano.
How do you guys know so much about vinegar?
Yeah, because we know that it can explode like this.
Ah.
Like this. Like this.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show you another thing you can do with vinegar and with rocks. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put both these rocks in this container.
And you're going to pour vinegar in there.
And I'm going to, how did you know that? You're right, I'm going to pour vinegar over these rocks.
Then let's see what happens.
Okay, here we go.
And then we'll go to see
Okay,
what
and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this around to you, and you can either look at the rocks or listen for them. Because if you put these kinds of rocks in vinegar, you will get bubbles. So you can either look at the bubbles like this, or you can listen for the bubbles. So I'm going to start on this side, Bella. Are you going to look or listen?
Listen.
Okay.
I'm
So
going to
put your ear to it.
Listen.
Do you hear anything?
Yeah.
What do you hear?
I hear bubbles.
You hear bubbles. What are you going to do, Hunter? Are you going to look at the rocks or listen to them?
Look and
Oh, okay. So, okay. Now look at the rocks. Look at the edges of the rocks. Do you see any bubbles on the edges? Yeah, they're really little. Okay, now it's going to be Shelby's turn. Shelby, are you going to listen to the rocks or look at them?
Listen.
Okay, so listen carefully. What does this sound like?
Bubbles.
What sound are the bubbles making?
Boonga, boonga,
Oh.
boonga.
Boonga, boonga, boonga? Wow. Ella, are you going to look at the rocks or listen to them? Listen? Okay.
You got her Bella. She's Ella.
Tell me what you think it sounds like.
It sounds like bubbly.
Oh. What do you think the bubbly sound is?
Jingle, jingle.
Jingle, jingle, jingle? Okay. Now it's Kylie's turn. Are you going to watch or listen? You're going to do both? Okay.
Just like Jingle Bell. Jingle Bell.
Okay. What do you see? Do you see bubbles on either of the rocks?
I think I see a spider.
You see a spider on the rock? Wow.
Whoa.
Okay, Isabella, are you going to look or listen?
Look.
Look, okay.
There's a spider.
Oh, you see a spider on the rock too?
Can I see?
Okay, now it's Nico's turn. Are you going to look or listen?
I think it's a vinegar spider.
Both? Okay.
Oh, I think factory.
Oh, that's right. Vinegar doesn't have a very good smell, does it? Yeah.
A vinegar and spider in there.
Yeah. Tessa, are you going to look or listen? You're going to look? Okay. By the way, do you know why there are bubbles coming out of the rocks?
Vinegar.
The vinegar.
I see a spider.
You do? You also see a spider?
I want to see a spider.
Okay, Brandon, your turn. Are you going to look or listen?
It's not bad. I'm afraid of spiders.
Okay.
It's not bad. I don't see a spider.
Do you see any bubbles or hear any bubbles?
It smells kind of good.
Does it smell good to you?
Disgusting. It smells.
Do you see any bubbles on the rocks? They're really tiny. So they're really tiny, so you have to look really carefully. Joylyn, are you going to be looking or listening?
Both.
Oh.
Why are you coughing me?
Do you hear anything?
I want to see a spider. I want to see a spider.
Have you ever heard of a word called calcium?
Yes.
What do you think?
Calcium is food.
You know what? Calcium is in a lot of food.
It sounded
There's
like
calcium in these rocks, and the calcium is what makes the bubbles and the bubbly sound. And on one table for my friends, on one of the tables, I have a whole bunch of other rocks with cups of vinegar. Now, some of the rocks have calcium, so some of them will bubble, and some of them don't have calcium, so some of them may not bubble. And again, you can look at the bubbles or listen for them. Now, there are 4 chairs, so how many friends can I invite?
4.
Okay, so raise your hand if you'd like to check out the rocks. Okay, oh, a lot of friends. Okay, I'm going to choose, let's see, I think I'll have Hunter, Tessa, Shelby, and Leo. And of course we're going to take turns, so once my first 4 friends are done, then I'll invite more friends, because I got a lot of rocks. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to let Teacher Sursuda help us go from this to our free choice.